In the last couple of days we've talked a lot about like you using all 11 and different lineups and things like that.
Did you see Jen's stat?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
It was a pretty incredible
It's a good
stat.
stat.
In those situations with these new lineups, do you Sika got a couple touches and she was really aggressive, kind of going after her own offense last game. Do you call stuff for Sika in some of them, or is that, or when you're testing these new lineups, do you kind of let them be a little bit more free?
Occasionally, probably more out of timeouts. Honestly, with a couple, like with Sugar and Sika, I have the playbook, and then I have the playbook that they are confident with right now, knowing. So we keep it maybe a little simpler, which is fine. That's okay. No, Sika made a good impact by setting good screens, getting into space quickly, rolling hard. For a big, you can do a lot by running the floor, setting great screens, rolling hard, crashing the boards.
Mm-hmm.
You can probably get 8 to 10 points a night doing that. So, no, trying to, when Suge's on the court, probably gonna get her a pick and roll or two in a spot that she likes, just to give her a little confidence, give her a little comfort. But it's hard to call stuff for all 11. So you tend to call for a few and let other people play off that.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask you had those couple turnover games that were a little bit ugly, and then
Only a couple, huh?
Yeah. And then, but you have ones also where you kind of clean it up. What is there a commonality in the ones that, on those ones that get a little bit rough when they pile up a little bit?
I think we've had a couple games where we've just had kind of hard to describe even turnovers in transition and just throwing the ball right to people. But I think the areas that I probably care about more are, can our guards keep their dribble and pick and rolls to make the right play and not predetermine? Can our bigs catch it on balance? Can we get good screening angles so we don't get moving screens? Can we throw passes to people's hands instead of at their ankles and above their head? That comes down to even when you're doing 5-on-0 stuff in practice with no defense. Are you throwing realistic passes or are you not? So we've tried to make it a theme of kind of every drill we do, everything we work on, drawing and putting an emphasis on our passovers. You got to be willing to defend for the whole clock, because they're probably the best at not getting sped up and being comfortable when there's 5, 4, 3 on the clock. So you gotta stick it out all the way through and then rebound.
Thank you.
That might have been 3 keys.
Want to ask you real quick about Ariel. Looking at her stats, her assist numbers jump out to me. She's got career highs, whether you're looking at assists per game, assist rate, all those. What do you think has contributed to that?
I think she is. It's what you want to see from somebody at this point in their career. That the game has maybe slowed down a little, that they're seeing the picture in front of them more clearly. You can tell when Ariel's playing at her own tempo, when she's in a rhythm, not sped up, seeing things clearly. Kind of at the start of the year and coming out of the break, I thought maybe it took her a game or two to just get her timing and her rhythm back. But I think also just a lot of skill work. I think she's worked hard on her ball handling. She's worked hard on being able to deliver those passes. Well, I think teams feel like they have to respect her shooting. I was just talking with somebody about, there's not a ton of guards. It seems like such a simple thing that can shoot and pass. So teams have to go over screens on her, and she can deliver a pass. It's hard to guard. That unlocks a lot of things offensively. It's why somebody like Steph has the same effect. When you can shoot and pass, you can do a lot with that. So, it helps. I think we have a bunch of people right now who are threats to score and assist. I think the way we play, some nights, Slim might have 7 assists, and then the next night Julie might have 6 or 7, and then Ariel might. That's how it should look, because teams are going to try to take away different things. We're trying to be balanced. We're trying to have everybody be a threat. So, being aggressive when it's time to be aggressive, and then making the right play when we need to move it. That's kind of what we hang our hat on.
And then, you mentioned the kind of the development piece. For you over the years, being here, an assistant coach, associate head coach, how does your role change or not in the player development piece?
Probably just kind of giving more of the direction and overall philosophy and overseeing, whereas when I was assistant, it was just really hands-on, every day on the court. I still try to get my hands dirty a little bit and jump out there when I see things or take certain players, but No, it's more probably just structural process now. Just trying to make sure that we have the right process in place for that to happen.
The last time you faced Connecticut, it was a really close game. I think 94-91. So, what adjustments are you guys looking to make tonight as you face them? Maybe some specific coverages that you're looking to defensively.
I'm not gonna share my defensive coverages before the game, but like you said, it was a close game. I think they've been a team that's been really comfortable in close games, and that's where we want to get to. We've seen some progress in the last 3 games of being comfortable down the stretch, executing out of timeouts, making good, solid, disciplined defensive plays, getting extra possessions. So it's going to be a good test against a really good team. Defensively, offensively, we've played them a million times. They know us, we know them. We got to take care of the ball. We can't give them second shots, and then you have a chance to be in the game.
Coach, what kind of problems does Alyssa Thomas present to your defense?
She's a true point forward. I mean, she can beat you with her scoring, but she'll kill you with her passing. And I think that's and a lot of it starts from her defense. So, I mean, she's really a great two-way player. It's I've said before, she just goes around the world winning. She wins overseas, she wins with the national team, she wins here. She can wreck your whole offense, and then she can put pressure on the rim, and then she also finds everybody when they're open. And so you have to make really good choices in a game plan, and then choices on the fly about when you need to help versus when you need to stay home, because you take one step too far, that ball's past you and somebody's shooting a 3. You don't help enough, or you don't help early enough, she's at the rim putting your bigs in foul trouble. So all the great players make you make tough decisions, and she does it in a very unique way.
What has been working for your team the past 3 games? Obviously, you all on a 3-game winning streak.
I think we've defended pretty consistently, and then I think we've just shown good poise down the stretch. They've all been close games. I don't think we've played like great offensive basketball the whole time, but we've hung in defensively. Got ourselves some, both in Seattle and in Chicago, got ourselves some cheap points on second chances down the stretch of those games when we were making our runs. And that's how games late in the season can be sometimes. Everybody's really well scouted and they take stuff away, and an extra possession here or there, or a good execution out of a timeout can be a difference.
What's your assessment of the players that have replaced Shakira since she's been out, due to her ankle sprain?
Yeah, I mean, we were in that rhythm a lot before the break when Kira was out. So Aaliyah stepped up. I think Emily it's been obvious, has handled her role well. I mean, we had lost Shakira, and also after we traded Maisha, that changed the rotation. Seen Sika get her first chance now, and I think people that have been doing the work every day want to play. So I'm glad to see people have been ready.
3 minutes. Out of bounds, Sun ball.
Scary moment there for a second with Slim. What did you find out about that, and did you think about just kind of sitting here the rest of the way?
Yeah, it wasn't the foot and ankle as far as I know. They'd given her trouble, so I'm not sure what, she stepped on somebody's foot, or she said she was good and she wanted to play. So.
Third quarter, Obviously, Mabry got hot. They shot at a pretty good clip. I know that was kind of one of the things that you guys had emphasized, making sure you identify her and the shooters, kind of what went wrong in that area.
I thought it started in the first quarter. I thought we were way too slow to respond to, like Dejanay makes a couple, and we're still playing way off. We lose Mabry on an out-of-bounds play. We lose her in transition. We help off of Dawana when we shouldn't. The game changed a little bit when AT went out and Dawana went to the 4. It's a lineup offensively that's been hard to guard over the years. I just didn't think we did a good enough job recognizing when we needed to get up and apply a little more pressure. Sometimes a game plan is one thing, and then people come in and make shots, and you got to adjust. That's not, 14 for 23 from 3 is a hell of a shooting night, and we were just a little slow to try to disrupt.
You guys kind of stormed back. What was kind of working? You guys got hot also. What did you like about the execution on the offensive end as you guys kind of start to find your footing?
Thought we just started playing with a lot more tempo and purpose offensively. And I thought when the bench group came in, they changed our energy defensively. And so we got some stuff off of that. We got in transition. The ball started moving. So credit to our bench group for that.
Thank you.
Picking up on that, I think you might have had a lineup we haven't seen yet, or maybe 2 out there. What did you kind of learn today as you were mixing and matching, or would you see that you were that you liked in terms of combinations?
I'd have to review the combinations because we have people coming out for knee to knee and stick slim out. But I thought Emily especially did a good job kind of getting us playing from side to side, or multiple actions a little bit more than we were. Thought our pace picked up. It's good to see Carly. I know her shooting stats didn't end up looking great, but I thought she played a good game. She started to get her shot off. She passed the ball well. So I'm gonna we'll keep experimenting to find groups that we like. And I want to give people a chance to play through some mistakes. But if you want to play, you got to come out and defend with a certain intensity and move the ball. Those are non-negotiables.
And then the team tweeted that Tori now has passed her career high for points off the bench ever. It was previously the 2019 season she had her most. I'm just curious, what you think of that and kind of what it says about her development over the years.
Well, she's I think ever probably since we've had her, she's been consistent about her work. You never have to worry about her being prepared, doing what she needs to do to get herself ready. I think she's taken a lot of pride this year in anchoring that bench group. My number one priority always with her is being aggressive. Tori's available and reliable. Those are great qualities to have.
Is that just a hot shooting team, or did you guys need to do something a little differently defensively?
Maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah, it's always a little bit.
Yeah, they obviously shot really well. 60% from threes, 50 in the field goal. So, obviously they shot really well, but I don't think our defense was necessarily the best. I think we were a bit more reactive than proactive. I think other than that, I thought we played okay. So, I think our defense just had to be a little bit tighter.
Do you feel that way throughout, or did something change a little bit different in that third quarter? Maybe kind of got inserted there when AT went out and she kind of caught fire, especially early in the third quarter.
I honestly wouldn't answer it any differently. I think once you see 1 or 2 go in, she's a good shooter. Once you let them kind of get free range, see 1 or 2 go in, you can see some of them were right there. She was still knocking them down. But I also think at the end of the day, like when you see stuff like that happen, you got to tighten up and get on people a little tighter and be a little more aggressive defensively. I don't think we did that.
And last one, a little bit of a slow start offensively, but you guys kind of found your groove. What did you like about the offense today in general?
I don't know. I didn't love our offense, to be frank. I think in the fourth quarter we just got hot and we started making some shots, but I think overall we played at Connecticut's pace. And I don't necessarily think we played at our pace and didn't get a lot more quick shots. I mean, I like the fact that we just fought through it after that first quarter, struggling a little bit, but overall, not our best.
Steph, you were saying you couldn't buy a 3 the other day, and you go 4 for 5 today.
Don't jinx it.
Well, it ain't 6 for 6.
You're
Yeah, true. It's 6 for 6. God.
Same looks, just hitting them this time, or did you change anything up?
Nope. Just they went in, but I've just been trying to not think about it, honestly. That as for me, it's like everyone, knows shooters shoot. Just try to go into it with a positive attitude, and obviously it helps to see the first one go in. So just gotta stay up. Hopefully, I keep making them.
For either or both of you, you guys have, I think it's 9 players with at least 6 points, lots of mixing and matching with lineups. What do you feel like you guys are, learning as you play with all different people and Eric kind of shuffles things around? Like, what is that process? What has that process kind of been like for you guys?
Just a lot of figuring it out. I think, honestly, since the beginning of the season, we have been figuring each other out and trying to see how we play together with certain things. I think the biggest thing is learning your teammates' strengths. It makes basketball a lot easier when you pay attention to that and make sure that people are in positions to succeed. But I think just learning how each other's plays and then try to play off of each other's strengths is the biggest thing I'm kind of figuring out personally.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Although you all lost in the last game, what do you think you all could build on going into the next game?
I don't know. I feel like what I kind of said before, in terms of like playing at their pace. I think we just have to do a better job of like we're gonna play Dallas next, who kind of does the opposite, right? They're really fast, try to get you to turn the ball over. So for us, it's gonna be staying calm. So I think it's just like playing to our identity and what works for us when we win games. And I feel like when we do that, we move the ball really well. Our defense is in held, back, recover, and rebounding. So, I think if we do that, we can get back.
Could either of you speak to just the tenacity of Brittany Sykes, just what she's been through this season with the injuries, bouncing back, but then even today, it looked like she may have suffered a bad injury, but she was right back out there contributing to the team.
Yeah, I mean, I think mentally coming back from an injury is just so hard. It's something that you have to figure out how to fight through. So today, I really don't know what happened, but I'm assuming she had somewhat of a scare. So for her to be able to kind of, I don't know how to say it without, she found a way to like get herself together and come back on the court. I was about to say a completely crazy, what's the word we use or something?
Analogy?
Yeah. But yeah, really proud of the way that she's trying to find a way to push through. And she tells us all the time, she's like, hey, I'm trying to figure things out. Like, thank y'all for sticking with me and things like that. But just her energy and her tenacity, obviously she brings a different look to our team. Her ability to get shifty and get downhill, something that we not only need, but have been missing. And so to have that back from her, I think is added to our game.